It's normal to wonder about death, to think about what it means to become nothing. We've all experienced the death of a loved one sometime in our lives. We all live knowing that we were born with a ticking time bomb on our existence on this planet, that we're all going to die. It is the very universality of death that makes death a topic that has intrigued and perplexed humanity for millennia. It is a concept that is often feared and sometimes revered, but to truly understand death, we must transcend the fear and reach for a higher understanding. For we all have wondered about it, shutting our eyes and slowing our breath while we imagine what the ultimate step was going to be. For some, that thought was absolutely terrifying. For others, it may have felt like a relief. But as much as we know of the mechanisms of death, we don't truly understand what death is. For most, they think about death, as we commonly perceive it, as the end of life. But what was life in the first place? When it comes to that question, the question that people rarely think about when it comes to death, they forget that death only exists in response to life. So they forget to understand what life is. And life, for most people, never escapes past the mind. That sense of self. That person you look into the mirror and see as you. The stories you tell about yourself and who you are and what you do. All of that is just something that your conscious mind is doing. And so, what is death truly? Nothing more than a cessation of consciousness. But what happens after that? That's the real question. That's what people truly mean when they wonder about death. The process, what it is, how's it going to happen? Those are small things in comparison. For death is the great unknown, the final frontier of our earthly existence. And with that, it carries a fear to it. The fear of losing all that we know and love. The fear of becoming nothing. The fear of what might await us on the other side. Even for those who proclaim loudly that they know what will happen after death. It is a primal instinct to preserve our existence. To fear death, however, is to forget our eternal essence. It is to forget our true self transcends the temporal boundaries of life and death. It is to forget the timeless, boundless reality that we are all a part of. Death, in its conventional sense, is merely a transformation, a shift from one state of being to another. It is a doorway to another step in our eternal existence. Existence itself brings us to another profound mystery. It brings us to the question of why are we here? What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of anything that happens? The same deep philosophical questions that have gone unanswered across cultures, or were filled in with religious dogma and hopes from a charismatic leader. But our existence is far more than that. Our existence is not some accident or fluke, nor is it some grand divine creation to prove ourselves in one life in preparation for the next. It is not limited to the few decades we spend in this earthly realm, nor is it limited to our own perception of reality, because all of those things are based on our minds, on our thoughts, on what we think about the world and who we are, and what we begin to grab onto when we think of our existence is the life and consciousness that we're experiencing right now. Instead, beyond this appearance of humanity is something else, an awareness that exists, a consciousness that observes and understands our existence, the true self that lives beyond the egoic idea of who we are. Our true essence is eternal. It stretches beyond the confines of time and space. It is a continuous, unending journey through the cosmos. We are not merely born and destined to die. We are eternity itself, creation itself, a wave in the infinite cosmic ocean of existence. And when we can truly understand our existence, we begin to understand that death is never something we have to be concerned about. In contemplating non-existence, we only do so in our understanding of existence, and in that, we think of our mind as something. So then we are led to see death as nothing. And yet when we truly think about what nothing is, we can understand the impossibility of nothing ever existing. Nothingness is often perceived as the absence of something, a void or a vacuum. Yet that would not be nothing. For nothingness relies on the presence of something for its definition. It is in the relation to something that we perceive nothing, meaning that the very notion of nothingness is dependent on the existence of something. The existence of something eliminates nothing from existence by turning it into something. For you see, the space in an empty glass is something. It has measurements, it has a location, and in that the empty space is not without form or shape, and thus it becomes something. Nothing always will give way to something, because nothing is not nothing without something to compare it to. Thus, there isn't nothing when you die. Moreover, every decade we gain more knowledge into what we truly are, and it challenges our conventional understanding of reality. In the quantum realm, particles can exist in a state of superposition, where they hold two different states at once, a particle and a wave, existing in one state only as we measure it, and in a different state when it's not being measured, showing that we do not experience the world as it is, but as we ourselves perceive it. But even more so, if we were to look at ourselves, put ourselves underneath a microscope, we could see a village of living cells existing on us. Then, if we zoomed closer, we would see the intricacy of our cellular structure. If we zoomed in closer, we would see the atomic particles dancing about. And atoms, when they come to decay, will shoot off their electrons and simply become charged ions, meaning that every single particle in our body will never cease to exist. The universe is an ever-changing and expanding entity. It is the canvas on which the grand tapestry of existence unfolds. It is in a perpetual state of flux, a continuous dance of creation and dissolution. Stars are born and die, galaxies collide and merge, and new celestial formations emerge while others fade away. And we are an integral part of this magnificent transformation. In this ever-changing universe, we find our place not as a mere speck in the vastness of space, but deeply connected to the cosmic dance of the universe, a consciousness observing itself, experiencing and understanding itself. All that we are, all that we have been, and all that we will be is an integral part of this dynamic and evolving tapestry. Our essence is forever intertwined with the essence of the cosmos. We are not separate from the universe. We are an expression of it. We are not some separate beings experiencing life separate from the world, cursed from birth to cease to exist. We are one with all things, living out the play of the universe. We are eternal, intertwined with the very fabric of reality. We are the wave in the ocean of existence, never born and never destined to die. In this realization, we find liberation. We transcend the fear of death, for we are not merely confined to this earthly existence. We are part of something much greater, the eternal and the infinite. And living in this truth, embracing the eternal now, dancing with the rhythm of the cosmos, and being the perpetual splashing wave in the grand ocean of existence, you can relax, knowing you are, and always will be, an eternal being in the ever-changing and ever-taking shape universe. Hey, wait 1 second. I've got something big to share with you. Thanks for watching that video. If you made it this far, you hopefully enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, we put out one at least every other day. Hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification at the bottom of the video. And keep an eye out for the next video. Also, I'm building a community of people who want to transform their lives over a year. It's called the Cosmic Joke Challenge. If you want to find out what the Cosmic Joke Challenge is, you'll learn that and more in our 100% free Facebook group, which will be growing a library of content not available on YouTube. The link will be available in the description box below. Click it, join, and start transforming your life today.